So what we are doing is I have some objections for Mr. Nabil, and you are going to come up with your objections, the challenges you're facing. And I think I have a lot of objections. We're going to move fast. We're going to give you like 30 seconds to 1 minute for each objection. And then we go around the room and we'll ask you what objections and challenges you guys are facing. On Zoom, can you guys hear us?
Yes, we can.
Oh, good. Oh, Miss Aisha, wow. You look nice. It's a nice sweater. Wow. What are you in Canada?
As well.
No.
You made yourself 3D.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Mr. Nabil. I think, Alan, you have an objection. Throw an objection at Nabil. What objection you're facing?
Sure. The major problem that I had with one of my clients, I mean, she didn't turn to client anyway, was that when I went there and I explained to them that, about the commission that they need to pay and other costs that's related to their sale.
Oh, 1 second. Can you guys hear Alan or no?
Yes.
You guys can hear him. Okay.
Very clearly.
Okay, good.
Okay. So when I explain all of those, because when you want to sell a home, it's not only the commission that you pay. You need to pay for tax, you need to pay for closing, you need to pay for many other things before it gets to closing. So I explain all of those, and I believe that I shouldn't do it because they suddenly get the cold feet and they didn't get back to me. So when you are when you are going to the seller session, how do you explain them that your commission and other costs related to that commission? How do you explain to them?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there should not be, in my opinion, there should not be any sort of cookie cutter approach to this. It's not the same. Every person is different. There's different personalities, there's different people we deal with. But this is all about the preparation that you've done beforehand. This is all about how you've communicated and spoke to them beforehand. This is all about what kind of value that you bring beforehand, right? Are you running your proper comps? Are you running your numbers? Are you estimating? Are you seeing how the market trends there? Are you a subject matter expert? Do you understand how this property can sell? Do you have a proper marketing plan that you've put together? Have you conveyed that? Have you shared that information concisely so that they can understand? When you do these things, the objection of commission and closing costs is not an objection anymore. It never comes in hand. The only thing that somebody will say is, oh, well, are you willing to give a discount? Now, there's a different objection handling to that one. But this won't be an issue. Personally, I rarely create a settlement net sheet for a homeowner. I rarely do it. We have agents who do it religiously for every transaction. But in some situations, it helps. I would suggest creating a settlement net sheet. When you create that settlement sheet, we have it on SkySlope. When you put that together, it breaks down everything for them to understand. But then you also are able to play around and work around with the numbers. Because if they're ultimately thinking that they want to have a net of something, well, you can work the numbers a little bit to make that happen. Maybe it's, maybe you're putting commissions at 3% or 3%. It's like, okay, well, what if we were able to do 5%? That just gave you a full percent back. I'd love a banana. That would give you a full percent back in terms of what you're going to net, right? Oh, well, we're having your price at 600,000. Well, let's see if we can find some ways where we can make some improvements where maybe you can get 610, maybe you can get 615, right? When you have that settlement net sheet created, they won't have the objection. The difficulty is when you're communicating with a homeowner and you're throwing out, and they're selling for the first time, and you're throwing out all these different numbers and figures, listing agent commission, buyer's agent commission, brokerage payment, admin fee, brokerage transaction fee, taxes, HOA payouts, blah, 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 blah. It's just calculating in their minds, they can't do that. They've got 30 other things that stress them out in life. Right. Now they're getting stressed out by numbers. Okay. Keep it simple. KISS. Keep it simple.
Oh, I like that.
Sweetheart.
Yeah, there you go.
We're not in the area where I would use the other word. But
No, very good. So Nabil, I'm going to give you 30 seconds for all of these, 30 seconds to a minute. So I have these objections for him, and later on if you have any objections. These are for sellers.
Okay.
So one objection, Mr. Nabil, your commission is too high.
That's the objection?
That's the objection.
High commission is too high? Okay. So Walid, I understand where you're coming from. I can see that. But let me ask you this. Are you more concerned about what you're going to pay me in commission, or are you more concerned about how much you're going to net?
Yeah, I want more money.
You would want to net more money, right? So if with my plan, we figured that you'll be able to clear 600K and potentially more, but then also get better terms. So think of this two ways. You're going to end up making more money potentially, but more importantly, you're not going to get stuck with worse terms where you're having to close longer, where we have to deal with home inspections. Maybe you have to give back on those aspects as well. So you may be ending up cutting on one side, but then paying on the longer side. Now, if you'd like to work with an agent where they're going to charge you less, I can make a text message and line people up the door, but I guarantee you what they're going to end up doing is just simply taking photos, listing your property, and waiting for you to get an offer. Whereas,
Very
as you
good.
can see with my marketing plan, it would be a little bit more complex than that.
So what he's saying is when people say your commission is too high, focus on what I do the same thing. Hey, I can get. Do you want lower commission or higher price and sell your home faster? Another one I think you actually answered. We are going to wait. I'm a seller. I think we're gonna wait until the rates come down.
You're going to wait until the rates come down.
Oh,
Okay.
by the way, Nabil doesn't know these questions. I just came up with them. So we're just throwing him on the spot
On
here.
the spot here. You're waiting until the rates come down. Okay, I can understand that. Waleed, if you don't mind me asking, do you know where the rates are currently?
I don't know, maybe like 6 to 7,
6 to 7. That's a very big range.
maybe 6.5.
Okay. Where are you hoping for them to be?
I hope if they're under 6, I think we'll get more buyers.
Under 6, you think you will get more buyers. Okay. For the last 3.5 years, do you know where rates have typically been?
They've been up and down
They've been up and down.
Yeah.
Do you think that they've been under 6?
for some time. Yes.
Maybe about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Out of 4 years. See, the reason I say this, Waleed, is because the likeliness that rates are going to come down is going to take even longer. But while you're waiting for these rates to come down, what's going to happen is 2 things. Number 1, you're going to have increased competition. The way that you're thinking, most other sellers are thinking the same way too. They're thinking that we'll be able to get more buyers, but now you're having to deal with more competition. Buyers now have more options. Why would they go to you versus another guy? Number 2, while you're waiting, we're in a correction period. Right now, we're at an average of 5.9%, where values have come down. As you wait longer, you may end up netting less than what you did if you listed sooner.
Oh, very good. Guys, you got it?
Yeah, not the last part. You mentioned that if they wait more, they're gonna end up getting less.
Potentially, because property values have been coming down. Yeah.
Another objection I have is we want to price 20,000 higher than your recommended price. You hear that too, right? Hey, you give them a price of 600, they want to list it for 625.
Okay. What makes you want to go with that route? Which is totally okay. We might be, I might be in agreement with you, but just tell me, sell me on
I
why.
think my house is worth more
I understand that. Why?
because there was a house 2 months ago sold for 650 and I'm going 625. You're recommending me 600,000.
Okay. 2 months ago, unfortunately, is not today. Now that sounds really dumb to say. Yes, I know. I say dumb things sometimes. But let me explain. The real estate market shifts and changes constantly. And as things have gone on since COVID, it has transcended where it's not changing every 3 months, not every month and a half, not every month. It's changing every week. Rates change constantly. Markets change constantly. Where one neighborhood is booming 1 month, the next month it could be completely dry. Now, we can list your property at 625. My question to you is, if the property sits on market for 2-3 weeks and we don't get any offers, what would you like to do at that point?
I think the lowest I'll take is 600.
The lowest you'll take is 600. Okay, and I believe that I can get you 600. But here's the problem. If we're on market for 2-3 weeks and we have the price drop to 600, what do you think that's going to say to buyers?
I hope, I think it will be very attractive. I hope I'll get the offer. I think we will.
I would like to think so too, and it's very possible that you can. Yes, I'm not saying that it wouldn't happen, but the likeliness is most buyers are going to now think, wait, what the heck is wrong with the property? Not only that, if you're buying a property, you'd want to get a good deal, right?
Yeah, sure.
So if you saw somebody who went from 625 and dropped to 600, yeah, you might offer at 600, but you might also think, man, that's a very big drop. Maybe they're desperate. Maybe I can get some seller concessions too. You end up hurting yourself a little bit more in the long run. See, when we discussed, we wanted to make sure that this was a smooth, seamless process where you can cash out, sell your home, and move on to your Florida home quickly. Why delay 3 weeks and then why give ourselves a very possible headache for 30 days when we're more likely to actually be able to get your home sold within that first week?
He's handling it very well, Mr. Nabil. See, another thing with him, and everyone has different styles. See, even though I am the seller, he has a question mark for me. So he wants me to talk. You know, he always has a question mark. And always you should have also not have open-ended conversations. You want to ask them and then you respond to that. So that was really good.
More often, a seller will give you the answer that you need if you ask the right questions back.
That's very true. There's another big one. I'm sure you guys dealt with it. I'll just sell my house myself as a for sale by owner. I think I can sell my house myself, Mr. Nabil. Why do I need you?
It's very true. You can sell your house yourself. You can sell anything yourself. But why am I even sitting here then? Why did you decide to meet with me?
I just want to get a price opinion.
You want to get a price opinion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that little thing that you have on the side in the palm of your hand? That has more knowledge and information than I could ever have. That could probably sell your house very fast, actually. If you try, maybe ChatGPT.
Okay.
I joking, kid. Well, you could potentially sell your home. Yes, you would save out on a commission from the listing side. You would still have to save on the buyer side. But can I ask you, what do you do professionally?
I am an electrician.
You're an electrician. Okay. So no real estate background, nothing on real estate law, nothing on real estate transactions. Okay. That's the reason why you hire, is because you have representation. See, you can walk into a courthouse for some sort of offense or fine or what have you, and you can speak to the judge yourself, and you could know the law like the back of your hands, but is the judge more inclined to listen to you, or are they more inclined to listen to an attorney?
You want an attorney?
Because they have a relationship.
Yeah.
They're in the same industry. They work together. They understand each other. They talk the same language. You may be able to say all the right things. You just don't have any type of backing. Now, I'm using that as a far-fetched example, but here's the thing. What if you do end up selling your home and you're stuck in a situation under contract with certain legalities and certain wordings and certain rulings that the other agent knows very well and tries to take advantage of, thinking that you don't, and now you end up having to shelling out money in terms of home inspections, or you have to pay off certain HOA fines or liens, things that you didn't even know that you didn't need to pay, that I could actually get waived for you. You could sell your home yourself, yes, but there's a stronger chance that you'll end up getting a better deal and a better transaction with an agent, even though you may have to pay a commission for it.
Very good. Now we're going to make it a little fun. Now I'm going to give a question to one of you guys. Question. He's going to give the answer. And you're gonna tell us how, if you are satisfied with the answer. So, Kat, you're going to give him, that's the question. And you're going to ask him this question. I think let's do that. I'm going to rent it instead. So you're going to ask him.
I'm gonna rent it instead.
So she's the seller now.
Okay.
Don't argue with Nabil, man. He has answered for everything. Okay.
Okay, so you're thinking about renting versus selling. What brought you to that decision? Or what brought you to that thought?
Because I feel like if I rent it and sit on it and the market changes, then I could sell it for more later.
Sure.
And still have somebody cover my mortgage.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. And what made you even consider selling in the first place?
Nothing was pressuring me, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Well, we met in regards to selling. That's initially, why you had contacted me. Now you're considering renting. So I'm just curious. I thoroughly understand what you mean by renting. Absolutely, you could have a renter. The renter could cover your mortgage, yes. But I think, my suggestion would be really figure out why you wanted to sell in the first place. The money's great, sure, but what would you do with it? What would you do with that equity? Where would it go? How would you use it, right? I don't have that answer. You got to get that answer. But I'd like you to figure that out first before you make that decision. We're in no rush, right? You got all the time in the world. I do also want you to take into consideration this. Do you think that you're ready to be a landlord? Do you understand the ins and outs of what it takes to manage a property, to look over tenants, to hire contractors, to make sure that work is done properly? to deal with all the damages that a tenant could potentially do to your house, to then having to get another tenant a year later, to having to go through the renovations again to get the home into a good, ready condition, to take calls late at night if some kid plugs the toilet with a Lego and now your toilet's overflowing. Is that something that you really think that you are okay with dealing with?
Yeah.
If so, then renting is for you, and I'll help you get it rented too. I just want to make sure you're making the best decision. But let's do this. Take some time to think about it. Figure out what you would actually do with that equity. Let's talk again tomorrow.
What do you think, Ms. Cat, about his answer? Are you...
I don't know. You put me on the spot.
No, you are the seller. So you're satisfied with the answer? Yeah, okay. Good. Next, we'll go to Ms. Farida. I think your question
This is
is...
going to give me crap.
Question is, can you guarantee you'll sell my house? That's the question.
All right. So Nabil, can you guarantee that you can sell my house?
Now, Frida, when you're asking me this question, are you asking me, can I guarantee that I can get your home sold at the price that we agree on? Can I guarantee that I'll get your home sold higher than what we agreed on? What is it specifically that you're asking me about this?
Based on what you've presented so far, so I feel like you're very confident, and you know what you're doing. But I don't know anything at this point. I'm a seller, so I'm just interviewing some other agents, and I want to make sure that if I wanted to give you a chance, how can you guarantee that you can sell my house and I can get top dollar, as you are saying, that you can get me, the most money?
Okay. Frida, can I ask you, out of our interaction so far over the course of this hour, how do you feel so far? Do you feel good? Do you feel any type of disdain, any type of negative feelings? Do you feel like I understand what I'm talking about? I'm a professional in the industry. I know what I'm doing. Does that seem so far?
To be honest with you, I am, about you, you know what you're doing. Absolutely. You have answered all my questions, but I haven't worked with you, so I haven't seen anything. But it is me that this is my biggest investment. I'm a single mother. I have 3 kids, and I put all of my money into this house, and I want to make sure that I get the most out of it. So how can you guarantee, as a real estate agent, as a professional, that you can get me top dollar, what you're saying right now?
Frida, I'd be happy to answer that question. However, you didn't answer my question. How do you feel about our interaction so far?
I said that
You ran around the question. How do you feel about my interaction so far? Do you feel good?
Of course I do. That's
So
why
far you
I'm
feel
going to
good.
ask you this
Absolutely.
question. Absolutely.
So far-
no, we
so
do
far
have
you
a
feel good.
connection here. Don't get me wrong. You're good. You're very good for what you're doing. Absolutely. You answered all my questions. That's why I wanted to ask you this. What is your guarantee as a professional? Because I'm a homeowner. What is your guarantee that, okay, you just put a house on the market next week? Do you guarantee that, or that you're going to give me top dollar? What if I just hired you today?
So far, you feel good about our interactions, and I want to make sure that you continue feeling good about our interactions. So do you want me to lie to you the way that another agent would lie to you and say that they can guarantee they can get your home sold? Because here's the thing for you, though. To be quite honest, I can't determine what's going to happen tomorrow. I might not even be here. That's not in my hands. But I can tell you this. The same feelings that you've had so far during our meeting, the same belief that you have in me and the same belief that you have in my plan to get your home sold top dollar is the same belief that you'll have throughout the entire transaction, if not more than that. That I can guarantee you. And if that I can guarantee you, then yes, I can get your home sold.
That's great.
Very good answer,
Absolutely.
Nabil. We like it, man. We like it. Yeah, man. That was good.
Don't let a seller be a bully.
Yeah.
Have
Yes,
a
that is good.
backbone.
That was
Don't
good,
be
man.
don't be a jerk, but have a backbone. Stand your ground.
Okay, Mr. Daniel, that's a question you're going to ask him. The Zestimate says my home is worth much more.
They gotta change
That
that
people, you
name.
hear that too, right? A lot.
Zestimate.
So yeah.
Zestimate.
Okay, Daniel is your new guy, new seller.
Okay, so here's my concern. So far I understand the estimate that you put in front of me, and now I understand the comps that you provided. But my concern is that this estimate, I looked up this estimate yesterday, and this estimate showed that my house is worth $20,000 more than what you're telling us. So how would you respond to that? What is why do you think my house is worth what it's worth?
That's a great question. Daniel, do you understand how Zillow and Redfin and Realtor, their algorithms work?
Well, it's based on the comps in the neighborhood, if I understand it correctly, right?
Unfortunately, no, it's not. Do you understand how SEO and SEM works?
No.
Do you understand how Google Analytics work when people pay for Google ads and Google placement?
Well, it's based on the trends and what people are looking at, right?
Sort of. If you search for anything, I'm sure you searched on Google, right? If you search for anything online on Google, do you really believe, like if you were to search for best mechanic in Woodbridge, do you really believe that the first 3 that pop up are going to be the best mechanics in Woodbridge?
No.
Exactly. So what makes you think that you can believe what Zillow's saying about their estimate? See, the way that these search engines work is they work based off of traffic, which means near and around your area, people are looking. They're looking because there's other properties that are listed, there are other properties that were recently listed or recently sold. So as traffic is going specifically into your geographical area in your neighborhood, what Zillow does is it increases the value to those properties. Why? To entice you to sell. And when the opposite happens, because you might think, well, what if that doesn't happen? Well, when the opposite happens and those estimates go down, it's fear mongering to get you to sell. One way or another, they're trying to get you to sell. But see, here's the thing. Have you ever spoken to somebody at Zillow?
No.
Do you even think they're real? I'm standing right here inside your house. Yeah. I say that to say that when they're looking, they're only looking at ones and zeros. It's binary. It's like the Matrix. They're literally just looking between beds, baths, square footage, and comparing you to all the others. But look at your beautiful kitchen. It doesn't compare to the others. However, your roof is very old, and there's 2 comps that have a newer one. This is how we price compare, and this is how we do analytics. Now, if nothing else, Daniel, let me tell you this. If I'm wrong, and we listed 20,000 less, and its actual value is 20,000 higher, what makes you think that buyers won't submit offers where it's going to go higher than what we listed at?
Just because we are listed lower.
But you said that the value is 20,000 higher based on Zillow. So if that's the case, it would go up to that anyways, right? If that's correct.
But wouldn't you think that if I list it for $20,000 less than what it's worth according to Zillow, it would give the wrong impression to the buyers that I'm desperate to sell?
No, and here's why. Buyers might be thinking the way that you're thinking, but the agents who work with them and guide them properly the way I'm attempting to do with you would think the way that I think.
Very good answer too, man. I like that, Nabil. Good, man.
You guys are trying to make it difficult, man. This isn't just one objection. You're throwing a second, a third, and a fourth.
Okay. We'll come back to you, Mr. Allen, but let me get Mr. Haman. We'll come back to the buyer front. You, Mr. Haman, to Nabil.
Create some space.
We don't want to spend money on repairs or staging. You're the seller now. He is recommending repairs and staging.
You want to ask? We don't want to spend money on repairs and staging.
Sorry. Okay.
They're 2 in 1, right?
2 in 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not looking to do any type of repairs or any type of staging. Okay, so we're planning on listing the home vacant. Well, Em and I, we can absolutely do that, but I really want to help you set your expectation, okay? I would love to help you to get top dollar. But when we look at your property and compare it with the other comps that are here that are a little bit more updated, you can see why yours is going to end up not selling at the same price. Because it's really apples to apples. The buyer's going to look at yours and they're going to look at the other ones. Now, we can still make it seamless where we can get your home sold and get you a good offer for it. But the difficulty is right now, buyers are really looking for 3 kind of properties. They're looking for one that's turnkey ready and they're willing to pay top dollar for it. They're looking for properties that are a little bit outdated, but the gap between top price and this property that's a little bit outdated, which is kind of where yours is wide. Or 3, they're looking for properties that need a lot of work, that they're willing to go into and actually do it. So yours isn't on that latter end, so we don't have to worry about that. You're not getting that lesser amount. But I know you want to get this higher amount because this is your livelihood. Now, the same way that you would invest time and effort into what you did with your education, your kids' education, your work, your career, your skill sets, it paid out for you, didn't it?
Yep.
Don't you think the same thing would happen with your home if you invested just a little bit?
No, I feel the same, but I've already invested so much money into it, and I feel that my my home is the only home in this neighborhood that's on the market right now. So, and in a bigger picture, it checks all the other boxes that probably would get any buyer's attention. So I think that these few repairs are just gonna cost me, the money that I don't want to spend right now, since I've already, like I said, spent a lot of money in this. So that's right.
And I'm glad that you bring up that point that you have market share. In any other market, I would agree with you. However, currently, the way that buyers are looking now, they're not looking at properties just within the neighborhoods. They're also not looking just within the cities. Can we agree that right now in the economy in general, it's extremely difficult for people?
It is, but like I meant, at the same time, people have preferences for school district, a peaceful neighborhood, and I feel like my home sits in a place where it's gonna still attract a lot of families, and that's why I said in a bigger picture, I feel like if I can sell it for the money I'm looking at, without spending more money, that would be my goal.
Okay, let's flip the script here. Let's say that you're on the other end and you're a buyer looking at your own property. And you come in and you see the property, you do showings, you see that there's absolute repairs that need to be done just in terms of basic safety conditions for children. Would you buy that house for your child knowing that there are concerns and things that need to be done at the price that you had listed it at? You'd want to get a good deal.
Absolutely, if it concerns my safety, yes.
Yeah, and you'd want to get a good deal and you'd want to make sure that it's a good condition, quality home. Now, here's the thing. You're going to ask for a home inspection, wouldn't you?
Right.
So what are you going to do when the buyers ask you for one and demand it, and then the home inspector comes in, sees these different types of repairs, and they try to get that in?
Like I said, they're just minor repairs that need to be done. Like, we're not looking at something major. Yes, the HVAC needs to be replaced, but everything else, I've invested in my house, so that's why, if I'm able to sell for 620, my goal is, like I said, to get to the net that I want to, because I have to purchase, and just like you said, I'm thinking about my kids in my future, but I'm trying to invest my money in the right place. So if I get the money I want, I would rather not do these things or repairs. So if you're able to achieve our goal without making these repairs, I think we should be good.
And let's say that we can't get 620 without the repairs, then what? Let's say it sits for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Do we keep it at 620, just waiting? And the reason why I ask you that is, right, you still have a mortgage on the property. So while it's on the market, while we're sitting and waiting for a buyer to come in at 620, not trying to drop, because if we drop, there goes the net that you wanted to get. While we're doing that, you're still paying a mortgage. So $3,000 goes after month 1, again in month 2, again in month 3. Oh, but look, that was how much it would have cost to get a new HVAC system in the first place.
Right.
And now you saved 3 months.
So let's say if we spend $5,000, do you think I'm gonna see that on my net?
What you're going to end up seeing is buyers that are more inclined to wanting to see your property because of the updates that have come in, rather than going elsewhere. Yes, you do have market share. Yes, if somebody specifically absolutely needs to be in this neighborhood for this school district, and yours is the only one that's around and close by, okay, that's all they have. But why wouldn't the buyer just wait for another property to come up in the neighborhood or within the area for the same school district? See, it's not just that we're trying to build the amount of traffic for your home. We're trying to build the amount of traffic so the home sells quickly, because the more that the home sits, the worse it gets. Homes are like bread.
Right.
The more it sits, the staler it gets, and nobody wants it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So maybe I can put in $5,000 for the repairs, but I still don't feel like I need staging.
Okay. So staging is complete preference. I'll be frank with you. Some believe in it, some don't. I wholeheartedly do. And here's why. What staging ends up doing is, because we're not doing all the repairs, what staging ends up doing is it takes away the visual sight of the defects in the home. And every home has defects. separations, settling, cracks, paint chips, maybe pushed up carpet, all these different things. Staging takes that away. So it's a little bit of an illusion, but it's towards your benefit. Instead of the buyers looking at all these different aspects, they're looking at how beautiful the home looks and how beautiful it's staged. Not to mention that you're helping them picture how their home can actually look when they move in. Contrary to popular belief, most people aren't that creative. They can't take an open space and then fill it and design how their living room or their dining room or whatever would be. Staging helps to do that. But let's do this. Because you met me on the repairs, how about I help you out and meet you on the staging as well? I can talk with some of the stagers I have, see if we can get it done for less. We'll take care of that at the end of settlement.
Burn?
Does that seem fair?
Sounds good.
Very good, man. That was a hard one, man. Nabil, that was good.
That's two.
Staging, I had a client yesterday. I think Nabil is going to stage for me. It's a $600,000 property in Belmont Bay. So I negotiated a commission with him for 2.5%. Actually, I was trying to get 6%, 3 and 3. But he was like, okay, let's just do 5%. I said, no problem. Then I threw him the staging idea. I said, give me 3%, I'll throw in the staging for you. Meaning whatever that 0.5 is, that's what the staging will cost. What will benefit me is going to sell the house. It will help him, it will help me. And I told him, hey, if you want staging to be paid, I do it now with all the clients. Hey, if you want the staging to be paid at closing, just pay it at closing. And it is, I've been staging mostly all the homes, and it's been working. So staging, I think, definitely a plus. Now we're gonna move on to the buyers. Yes.
Can I ask a question, kind of unrelated, but regarding the commission that you said, 3 and 3. So let's say you do 3 and 3, and you agree with them on 3 and 3, and the other person only added, the buyer asked for 2.5. Do you?
I put in the language that if I negotiate the commission, it just comes to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say I love the fact that he addressed one of the issues professionally. Like we had a little bit of debate there, but for the second one, he just completely turned it around and kind of focused more towards the solution. So I, as a client, felt like he cares enough for me that for the repairs, he's like making the right recommendations. At the same time, when it came to the staging hesitation that I had, he had a different stance and kind of provided more of a solution and a favor that he was gonna give me, which was
Like focused on the repairs, got that done, and then staging, which he's gonna bring later once the repairs are done. Smart realtor.
Thank you. You're in objection handling and conversations in general with sellers and buyers. You really have to be the one to guide them through the objection, through the process, through the conversation. It really is like a game of chess. I had that locked up as soon as I knew he was going to be good with repairs. Why? Because the repairs covered the staging covered the repairs. We're not doing full repairs. We're doing what we can with it. Staging now covers in the rest of it. It was literally just a domino.
And one thing he said is very true. Staging covers the imperfections. I had a listing in Dumfries, which was staged. And the buyer agent called me at the walkthrough when the staging was gone. They're like, this house looks so different. We don't like this house. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not. Nothing was wrong. There was nothing hidden. But, then they start focusing on the broken cabinets, open the kitchen drawers. They were all like, it was like older home. But we got the top dollar. Because they focused on the staging, then focusing on, I think they waived the inspection too, but they didn't focus on opening kitchen cabinet or drawers and things like that. And when it was empty, they're like, like the videos you see, you're having the makeup and you take you wash your face, like, who are you? But staging helps. Now we're going to move to buyers.
If I may make a comment, something that I really like about how he handles these objections is he doesn't give you the answer, but he guides you so that you can give him the answer that he wants yourself.
That's really good. Now we're gonna go to buyers. George, right? So, yes. Who? Aisha.
But it's regarding commission. Hello. I have a question regarding the deal. Like we're having a conversation on the commission, right? So now in our contract, the commission is, straight put on there like 5% or 6%. It happens to be sometimes they ask for, the buyers ask for 2%. Sometimes they're negotiating it higher. And this is what happens, and I wanted to see how the conversation I should have with my client, where now, okay, I've agreed upon 5%, but the buyer's agent is asking for 3% and is willing to increase the price, right? Increase the price to cover his 3%. Is that making sense? How can I have that conversation with my seller and express this to him that this can happen, but they're increasing their price to compensate their commission? How does that work?
I think I'll discuss this when the offer comes. You don't have to confuse them at the time of the listing agreement.
Don't have the conversation at the time of the listing, have it later.
Yeah, I think if I'm working with a buyer, they're okay to pay 2% to the buyer, 3% to me, and then the buyer's asking for more and they want to increase the price. I'll cross the bridge when the time comes.
Okay, don't have that conversation early on.
Yes. But I will definitely, I always explain commission that, hey, I am getting this much. The buyer agent, if they are willing to give them X amount, the buyer is getting this much. And I also tell them, hey, if I am able to negotiate a lower commission for the buyers, that's also coming to me. I like to have a very clear conversation about the commission upfront. But of course, buyer's agent can ask like 5% and increase the price. Then I'll deal with that when the time comes.
Especially nowadays, all majority of the buyer agents are asking 3% of the property sitting, on
Yeah.
the market. So I just wanted to see how the conversation should go. It would make sense have it the time of.
Yeah, Ben sent me an offer asking for 5% That was like years back.
Oh, yeah.
And he got 4 or 5%. He was like, "You want to sell the house? This is what I want." And I had a conversation with my clients. I said, "Do you want to sell the house? This is what he's looking for." And they were like, "Okay." But very good questions. So I think Jonathan, right? Am I saying it? George? I'm sorry, I keep calling you different names. George, you are a buyer now, and now you're looking to buy the house. With you're having a conversation with Nabil, and you don't want to buy because interest rates are too high. So maybe you want to tell that to Nabil.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying, but I think I want to wait till interest rates come down.
I mean, this is kind of the same thing as sellers. Okay, I'll do something different.
Yeah.
George, right? Oh, sorry. What?
Jorge.
Oh, Jorge.
Oh, it's Jorge. I'm sorry. I thought it was Jonathan first. Okay, we're getting there.
Okay, so Jorge, you're concerned about the interest rates being too high. Let me ask you, Jorge, is your concern that the interest rates are too high? Is your concern that you're not finding the right kind of properties that's worth it, or is your concern what your monthly payment would be?
Big monthly payment.
Monthly payment. Okay. What is it that you're trying to potentially keep it under?
You mean the monthly payment? Maybe under 3.
Under 3,000? Okay, very good. And I know you were looking around at properties in Woodbridge, townhouses, 3.5, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. Okay. Have you communicated this with the lender yet? No, okay, because I know we've gone through the pre-approval process and everything. I would definitely recommend to do that, and here's why. There's always solutions. See, numbers are one of the only things in this world that do not lie, right? They speak facts. So there might be something that the lender can do about that, right? But all right, just so I'm not wasting your time, we're all on the same page here. If we're able to help you to get a property where that mortgage payment is under $3,000. Is that anything else that would stop you from continuing along the process and buying versus renting? No. Okay, great.
Good, man. Thank you.
Let me do that one again though, because there's a couple ways you can do this. Okay, so Jorge, you're concerned about the interest rate being too high. Okay, very good. Just so I understand clearly, where is it that you think the rates are currently?
They've come down a little bit, I know that. But I don't know the number, actual number.
Okay. So rates as of today are at 6.2. Does that seem high to you?
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's kind of high to me, but it's not bad. You're right. It could be better, right? Now, do you know what that would turn into in terms of a monthly payment?
Yeah.
Okay. See, Jorge, I want to have your best interests at heart, right? And I hope that I've conveyed that so far, and I hope that we continue working together, that I will. And I want to make sure that you're doing this when you're comfortable. But let me share with you the price of not owning a home and continuing renting, right? Currently, you're paying your landlord's mortgage. Did you think about it from that way?
Yeah.
Right? There's money going into his pocket. He's getting cash flow. He's getting equity built for nothing. You're living there. And yes, you wanted to own your own home so that you could do the very same thing too, right? Now here's the price of not buying sooner rather than later. Do you remember how much property values were in 2020 and 2019? Have you seen where they are now? What do you think is going to happen 5 years from now? Right? I mean, need I say more? See, I say this because, you know, it's a difficult time, but we try to make it as simple and seamless as we can for our buyers with certain different types of loan programs that can help, with being able to potentially negotiate better deals under asking, maybe even getting seller concessions that can be used towards a rate buy down. So that 6.2 might go down somewhere into the 5s, right? So it all depends on the situation. However, the difficulty ends up being that if you're waiting for the rates to go down, how many other buyers do you think are doing the same thing? And if that's the case, when you do decide to buy, if the rates are at 5.5, what kind of difficulty do you think you're going to have finding a property competing against other buyers too that are then going to waive contingencies, maybe even go above asking? So, Jorge, let's create a plan. Let's create a solution that fits within your monthly budget, where the rate doesn't matter because it can always be refinanced, and get you into a home instead of you just paying somebody else's property.
Very good, Nabil. All right, give us feedback, man. What do you say? Because you're not a realtor. What's your feedback?
That was good.
He's ready to buy.
Yeah.
He's ready to buy. There you go, sir. You renting or you own?
I rent.
Oh, here you go, Nabil. There you go. All right.
I have a beautiful townhouse in Belmont Bay coming up for you.
Yeah. Staged and everything is and repaired. Yeah.
I know how to look through the staging.
Yeah.
I got you.
You don't have a townhouse coming in Belmont Bay?
No, he has a townhouse coming.
He's
in Belmont
staging
Bay.
it. Yeah, it's coming.
The condo is coming.
And I have a buyer.
We have a buyer right there. I think you'll like this one, Alan.
Yep.
For Mr. Nabil.
Oh, Lord.
Can you rebate part of your commission? You're asking for commission, man, from Mr. Nabil on the buyer side.
Yeah. Nabil, I think the only thing that you did was showing two different houses to me, and I mean, I believe that you need to share your commission with me, at least part of it. So, can you share like half of your commission to me to pay for the closing costs? That will cover some part of the closings.
Alan, why do you think that?
Because you just spent like 2 hours in total, and I didn't see much from you. I mean, the only thing that was I was looking at was two houses, and I chose the second one. So you didn't spend much time with me. You just showed two houses to me, and that was all. I mean, you didn't do much.
Mm-hmm. Alan, do you think my work is complete?
I believe so. I mean, probably if you paperwork needs to be done, and that's gonna be the end of it. I mean, what else you need to do?
You know, I appreciate you being candid about this, Alan, and being very straightforward. You know, so I'll do the same. There's a good amount of work that still needs to be done. I'm not done working for you yet. I still have a lot to do. I still got to ensure that you're getting a quality property. First off, we saw these two properties. Now comes the hard part. Now comes where we have to prepare a quality offer, one that is in your best interest, where you're getting a good deal on the property, and also where the seller is going to accept. Now, once we do that, then we have contingencies we have to run through. Then we have home inspections that we need to do. We need to look through this property and see the ins and outs and make sure that there aren't any major defects to this, so that you and your family get a quality home that you can move into, versus a home that's going to end up paying you more over the long run. See, if we don't do that, you might have 5, tens of thousands of dollars that you're gonna have to pay this year, and so on and so forth. Then we have to make sure that the appraisal comes in, and not only does it meet the offer price that we give, but potentially even go higher than that. Did you know that you can actually negotiate, well not you, but did you know that an agent can actually negotiate with an appraiser to potentially get the appraisal to be lower or higher? You didn't know that. Did you know that there's benefit both ways? Do you know what would happen if I got the appraisal lower?
Yeah, it's gonna benefit me because we have appraisal contingency of the.
And what does that do? So if the appraisal comes down, what does that do for you?
That's gonna save you some money.
Saves you some money monthly.
Yeah.
What does it benefit you if the appraisal goes higher?
Well, probably I can get a higher amount of loan on the house.
You have more appreciation. Absolutely. You have automatic equity in the house. Right. So I can actually do that on your behalf as well. And then there comes the point of making sure that everything runs smoothly with the lender, with the title company, the title work, title search, title insurance, making sure that you don't have any loan defects, any sort of other liens on the property, any HOAs. All of this is work that I still have to do. I'm not done yet. But Alan, let's also remember this. The length of time that was put in to get you pre-approved, to help you with your debt, to help you with your credit. Now, I understand why you're saying this. You want to be able to get some assistance. You want to be able to not have to pay money out of pocket as much as you can. You want to be able to lessen your expenses because home buying is a very big ticket item. Am I anywhere near on the same page as you?
You're right. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to save as much as I can because I'm already paid whatever I could. I mean, I borrowed a lot of money from my friends and my family to pay for this house, and I really don't have any much more money to pay for the closing and all those costs.
I understand, Alan. So the same way that you're trying to get a great deal for your family, do you think that if an agent was to take money away, hard-earned income away from their family to give back to you, do you really think that they're going to have your best interest at heart to negotiate to the best of the ability for you?
So listen, I don't want you to pay all of your commissions to me. I'm just asking for a few, I mean, probably like half of it or 25%, 30%, something like that. I don't ask for all of it. I mean, I know that you have work and you need to get paid, but I need to pay for this. And I mean, worst case scenario, I can cancel this and go with somebody else that want to share with me. I mean, that's what I think.
Alan, let's go back to what we talked about with the home inspection.
Yeah.
Right? Do you understand how much an HVAC costs if you have to actually get that replaced?
Probably like 6,000, 7,000 or 10,000, something like that.
Let's double that 6,000. So let's say that you have to end up doing that in the first year of buying your house.
Right.
Oh, but you got half of the commission back. Now that commission just goes to that HVAC inspection, or that HVAC replacement.
I mean, the inspection gonna be done by somebody else. What do you do regarding the inspection? You just ask somebody to go there and inspect it. I can do it myself. It's not a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So who's going to then negotiate with the listing agent to make sure that you're getting the best deal and to make sure that any type of defects or any type of major repairs gets done by the seller?
That's gonna be you. Yeah. That's why you are.
You can do it. By all means, if you'd like to. Make less of my job. I'll give you half at that point if you want to do it. Yes, that's my job. My job is to make sure that you're getting the best deal. But here's the thing, Alan. The same way that you believe your value is your value at your workplace and why you get paid what you get paid is the same way that I believe that I do as well. Now, I will do this for you, Alan. I told you, I want to make sure that we help you get a good deal, right? We only saw 2 properties. You found one that you liked. As I mentioned to you previously, my recommendation is also always don't immediately jump on the first one you like. Because there's always good properties that are out there. And this property's not going anywhere. But how about this? Why don't I work towards negotiating and getting concessions from the seller to help towards your closing costs? And if it doesn't happen from there, I'm with you. I'm not going anywhere. We'll find you the right home. Because remember, there's always other properties that are going to come up. I remember I told you in our first meeting, you're going to see a property that you like, and you're going to want to submit an offer for it. And there's a strong chance that when we go under contract, you're still going to see other properties that come up on the market that you're going to want to see. There's always other properties that come up. So if we don't end up getting concessions from this one, we'll find one where we can. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, sounds fair, but do you think that we can get out of this contract if we send an offer and then I see another one, or I mean, worst case scenario, if the seller doesn't want to give any seller concession, what's gonna happen? Do we cancel this and go into the next one, or what would you do?
We're not under contract until we've come to that agreement. So no, there wouldn't be any sort of situation at all. We're working towards getting those concessions. If the seller's unwilling to do so, then they can sell on the market and find a buyer that's right for them and right for that house, while you and I find the right house for you.
Okay, so we are not buying that because the seller doesn't want to give any seller concession?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. We're going to see.
I mean, in case if he doesn't want to.
In case he doesn't want to, Alan, that's completely up to you. If you want to continue along with the process and the purchase, we can. And what we're going to do at this point is we're going to try to find another solution. We're going to try to find a solution that is better for you. Remember, we're doing all of the work beforehand, before we even get to this point of submitting an offer. We're done all the work to make sure that financially you're good, financially you're stable, everything is handled and taken care of, so you're able to take care of your closing costs, so you're able to take care of all the expenses with home inspection, with appraisal, and so that you get a home that is within reason for your price, for your budget, so that you're not paying more on a property than you need to. All this is being handled before we've even started looking at properties. We're in a good position.
Are you satisfied, Alan?
Yes, sir.
See?
Alan
You
gave me
did good,
5
man. Nabil,
objections,
that was
man.
good too, man.
Alan went from give me your commission to I want a home inspection with repairs to I want the seller to give me to if it doesn't and I still want to buy the house, what are we doing? I'm like, hey, man.
Oh, Kat, you have a question.
Situations like this where the client is super difficult, have you found that even if you convince them to still work with you, later it just becomes, it's like a snowball effect of just their negativity and everything just goes to shit, even if it goes to closing, but like, is it worth, in your experience, dealing with somebody like that?
For me, this is where it comes back to why are you in this industry? Why are you in real estate? What's the reason why you do what you do? Is that why important enough for you to go through all of these processes and these challenges and these walls and people and their personalities? For me, hands down, 1000%, I'll work through it. We're doing one right now, actually. It is one of the most difficult transactions I've ever had in my life. It is one of the most difficult clients. I cannot get in touch with this woman to sign a document to save my life.
We had to call her 15 times yesterday just to get her on the phone.
Just to be able to get her on the phone. And you know what? It's worth it because we're going to get paid. For those of you that don't know, my number one motivation being in this industry is lifestyle. And that lifestyle means time and money. I love people. I have a very big heart. However, helping people is not my number one motivation. For other agents who say that it is, I respect you. Deep down inside, I don't personally think it's true. Because if you didn't get paid, you wouldn't be doing this anyways.
Yeah.
We're in here for the big bucks.
Yes.
We're in here for the big bucks. And that's the reason why you do it. And sometimes you got to go through crap. Sometimes you're going to have to do 2 agents' jobs to be able to get the deal done. Sometimes you're going to have to do 4 jobs because you got to deal with that agent, their buyer, your seller, transaction coordinator, and lender just to be able to get the deal done. It comes with the territory. However, remember, we are talking about different mentalities and personalities and character. You and I are very much opposites. Introverted, extroverted. I will do it all day long. You have to make sure that what you do and what actions you take, it speaks to your mind and it speaks to your heart and it speaks to your soul. If you can't do it, you can't do it. Walk away. I have fired clients. It is the greatest feeling in the world. I have done so because it's just, you try solution after solution after solution after solution and you just can't get to a winning path. And quite frankly, the amount of time and effort that goes into this one difficult one, you could have just taken and invested elsewhere. Yeah, so you got to know where your patience is and how much you can, and it's not just patience. You got to know where your patience is and how much you can run thin, and then emotionally and mentally, how much can you handle, And it's completely okay to walk away. It's completely okay to leave that client and to not work with them if they're just too much for you. It doesn't make you a less of a person one bit. What you do, you take that person, you refer them to another agent, and you get a referral fee.
I see everyone has boundaries, right? Where you're like, I don't want to. I am okay with any difficult client because that's work. That's why we're in the business. As long there is no disrespect. If someone calls me dishonest because I'm not, I'm like, hey, this really triggers me. Other than that, yes, they want to negotiate, they want to give me a hard time. I have no problem. I had a similar client like Alan, like how he was in the scenario just yesterday. Just yesterday, he is from Afghanistan, and he wants physical title in a little certificate at closing. He thought this is how it works, that we will present him some kind of certificate, and I said it doesn't work. Yesterday I met with him. He said, I want to meet you. I don't go to walkthrough, Abdul goes, but he said, I want you to be there because he wanted to not get title insurance. I have, out of 1,000 clients, maybe one who doesn't have it. I fight for it because, and he's buying it for all cash. And yesterday he was like, I don't want to buy title insurance. And I was pushing him and telling him the benefits. And he said, my other realtor, which I don't want to tell him I have the money. I called him and he told me, don't get title insurance. I said, why don't you bring him to me? So I said he should not be in real estate. I told him, what kind of realtor is he who is telling you not to get title insurance? Somehow I gave him a little bit discounts from the title company. I even gave him discount from me so he can still get title insurance, because I have seen situations where people have to go through a lot because something happened. Very difficult guy, a nice guy, but he's difficult, but that's okay. And then I just told Unico Title to print all the documents for him.
Put him in a frame.
Yeah, put him on a frame. But he's okay. He closed. He's very happy. I think we got a few more. I think Miss.
Can I
Yes.
ask a question
Sure.
about the whole discount situation? Because I think that's like one of my biggest challenges right now.
That's the biggest challenge for a lot of us,
Yeah.
especially on buyer side. Me, I don't like to give any money back.
Yeah, so I do have a client right now. He's a 1031 exchange. We have already purchased one property for him. We have the second one under contract.
Yeah.
And we're working to purchase his third one. Through this process, I was able to structure a deal for him where he sold his property. He converted $650,000 property into $1.2 million worth of property. Still be able to keep the same positive cash flow that he does every month, slightly even higher. So clearly he's winning huge in this situation. My challenge is with his listing, I gave him a discount, and now that has become my pattern. And I feel like when you get into that pattern of giving discount, it's 10 times harder to walk out of that and get out of that pattern than if you initially just stand your ground.
And also the clients, the referrals he'll send you will also want the same thing.
He came through a referral from a friend who literally looked at two properties, and he purchased one of those two, and because of that, I gave him a discount. And because of that, he came through a referral, and that referral told him, hey, he gives you a discount. Make sure to ask for a discount.
I think, when it comes to me, everyone works differently. I've been around for 20 years, so I have some clients who are still buying after 20 years. And, they asked me sometime, hey, Waleed, can I have some money back? I said, how much you want, man? I don't want to argue with you. I know you for so long. Tell me a number. Like this guy, and sometimes I work on situations because I work on quantity. 1 month ago, a guy called me. He's my previous client. He was like, Waleed, I found a house next to. Can you put an offer? I want, get 3%, give me 2 back. I said, sure, no problem. I said, I'm not going to go to inspection. I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to just put the offer. I'm not doing walkthrough, nothing. I'll just put an offer. You win it, you deal with it. And he agreed with it. Still, I'm going to make 8,000. I'm fine with that, depending on the situation. But if it's a new buyer, I sell them on my services as a lifetime agent. I tell them, hey, listen, you're gonna hire another agent who's gonna give you half the money back, but you're hiring me for life. Meaning, 2 years later, you need a new roof. You call me, you call first a company which will charge you 20,000. You call me, I can possibly get it done for half price. So you're gonna keep on saving money in the coming years. And I'm always available to answer any questions. And also my goal is to protect your interest and make sure you have title insurance and this and that. So I sell them on a long term that you're hiring me for life. And buyers usually, unless there's a deal where they're selling and buying buyers, I never barely give anything back. Unless it's a buyer who's buying for like, the longest. I have another client, he's a commercial guy. I put an offer for 4 million. I know he's going to ask me for something, but whatever he's going to ask, I'm going to give it to him. I think the commission is 120. He may ask me for 100,000 back. I'm like, no problem, man, take it. I'm happy with 25 writing one LOI. So it all depends on the situation.
It is. It's very much case by case. I have only given one credit ever to a buyer, and that was actually I don't remember if it was the lender's fault or it was the title's fault, but they gave them the wrong amount that they needed for close. And that's where the whole mess up happened. So I had to give them a credit for the deal to happen. But here's the thing. If I didn't, the deal wouldn't happen. How much longer would I have had to go to be able to show them more properties before getting under contract? I got things to do. I got to move on. To your point with that, no, that's the trend that ends up happening. And sometimes it's okay. I have a client who in the span of 3 months gave me 4 listings this year. I had never sold the property for him. I just been in touch with him about his property for about 2 years. I think it was an expired listing, but I just kept giving him value. I just kept giving him value, kept in touch, was nice, respectful. And, eventually he gave me his friend who had a listing in Herndon. He gave me his brother who had a listing in Herndon. He gave me, the brother also had a rental listing. And then his property that he didn't end up selling, he ended up renting it. But they were the easiest people to deal with. Well, except for the friend. The friend was really getting on my nerves, but then I had to straighten him out real quick, and then it was easy. So far, so it's like the community. They're good. They're fine. They're easy to deal with. So okay, I take a little bit less on the listing side. That's okay, because for me, it's already smooth with my client. Now I just got to deal with the other side of the table, which you have to do anyways.
I'm going to add something to that for you guys. See, you go to Zillow Flex, right? You have to pay 35% to them. If I give you a lead, you got to give me 50%. If someone is giving you a referral, they wants it's all, you have to use common sense. Yeah. I have seen agents where the commission is 30%, they want to fight for it and don't want to give 5,000 back. I would even give 10,000 back. I'm happy with 20,000. I'm happy with 15,000 too. And these days, I don't even argue. There's a problem with the deal. Instead of me arguing for 500 to $1,000, I say, hey man, take the credit, leave me the headache. The deal I was doing right now, the same guy who closed yesterday, he wanted home inspection to be $10,000. He wanted $10,000. Seller said the maximum we'll do is $8,500 or nothing. And he's like, I don't want to buy the house. So I told the other agent, listen, I'm making $15,000. I showed him one house. I said, listen, I'm going to give your seller a credit of $1,500. Just get it done. I don't like to argue. I'm happy with 13,000. Yeah. So these things add up.
I'll tell you 2 things, and I think this is going to end it for you, especially the second thing. So number 1, there is a team of agents. They're 2 brothers. And they initially, when they first started off, they really tried to get a lot of business. And so they would market 4.5% listings. Community built, got a lot more referrals, but every time they got the referral, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. Well, what did they do? They ended up building a business around it, 4.5% listings. These brothers do somewhere between 30 to 40 million a year. Are you concerned about what type of commission you get? Look at that. Number 2, which this will take care of it. The reason why somebody is concerned about giving a credit or lessening their commission, quite frankly, you don't have enough places to work. If you did, you would never ask me that question to begin with. Have more places to work. They won't.
I think in I'll just say this. I think so with these particular transactions that he's buying properties that are, like very low price point for this area, right? Like $400,000 properties. So the the dilemma that I have with myself is if I'm gonna make $5,000 on a transaction, and he says he's an easy client. He's one of the most difficult ones that I have. Everyone thinks they're easy clients, but they don't know what you deal with, right? The dilemma that I have with myself is if I spend the time that I'm spending with him being difficult and make that commission, if I spend that time building my pipeline, if I spend 3 times that amount building a pipeline and get one transaction that comes in full price, I'm making the same amount.
No, this is a good idea. You have to evaluate. That's what I do. If it's a difficult client, the other day someone called me and said, Waleed, I have a referral for you, a buyer referral. Can you give me 50%? And it was 400,000. I said, I have a showing assistant. I can't give you 50%. I can only give you maybe, I said, I can only give you maximum 25%. And there's nothing else I can give you. And because I have to pay my showing assistant, I still need to make like 50% out of that. So I have to see if it makes sense or not. I told the lady, I said, listen, I have other agents in my office who will be happy to maybe do 50-50 with you. So you have to see where your time is worth. I do the same thing with listings. Easy. If the price is right, I know I can sell it fast. In hot markets, if it's a $1 million property, they'll give me 10,000 flat fee, I'll sell it. I'll do it even for 7,500. I don't care because I know I'll make the money in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So if it's a difficult client or a property, of course I want to, get the best price because it's a lot more work.
So what you're saying is don't lose any deal.
I don't lose any deal.
That's what I learned when I was working with Long Coster. I had maybe my second or third buyer, and he was asking for closing cost. And I asked my broker, it was a long time ago. They didn't, they said no, Farida. And then they were telling me, don't do it because then you're going to get used to it. That was my mistake. And I still remember it. I wish I helped, my buyer. But now, when they argue with me, I just don't want to lose it.
I am giving money right and left, but at the same time, I'm making a lot of money. It has to make sense. Everything has to make sense. Every market, my rate is different. I'm telling you, the hot markets, I just want the listing. The only thing you have to do is put it on the MLS, 3-4 days, multiple offers, no contingency, goes to closing. I don't care if I make very less. I just want to get the listing. Now market is different. I want to, of course, charge higher, but I only work with listings which will sell. Otherwise, I don't want them. It's like you're not going to make any money. So you have to see where you're making money.
July 16th, I'll show you how to make that one listing turn into 10.
July 16th? What's happening July 16th?
I think that's when the training is.
Oh, okay. Here you go. Yes, yes. We have the training coming up. So, guys, anything else? I think we are already Zoom. Guys, are you still awake? I think they went to sleep. I hope you guys learned something.
Yes, we are.
We're still here, man. Very great mastermind. Awesome.
No, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I think we're already at 1:30. It's more than an hour. I had another question, but that's okay. We'll just leave it. I have like so many questions.